Hey, Skiba News
Hey,
Nation
hey.
family, we have a way cooler intro than that last week, but we'll have to fix it. But how you doing, Jake?
Hey, doing all right. Doing all right. Yeah, say a prayer for my grandpa and my brother. They've been having some medical attacks as of today and yesterday, but we made it all the way back to Kentucky, all the way from Texas, and getting to love on my girls. And yeah, it's good to be back here in the studio, in progress. So yeah, it's good to be home.
Nice. We got some good current news today.
Yeah, we got some pretty fun stuff and some interesting things. A lot of people saw on the news the shooter that showed up at the House Correspondents Dinner yesterday. And before we get into some of that, I wanted to play this hilarious video. AI has predicted how World War III will go, and it ties into, I think, the interesting AI topic that is more real news. But let's check out this humorous video to start us off. Right here.
Drop it!
Okay, so I wanted to start out fun before we get into disturbing. All right, but this next one is a very just a very 1984 style. What's the movie that has it's got Tom Cruise, I think. Um,
All the this one where he hangs off planes all the time.
no, it's the one where the the AI predicts the future.
Hmm. The publicity here
Let me
would
just
now for sure.
what was it?
But let us know in the
Minority Report.
world
It
of the
was
world.
Minority Report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyways, if you guys know Minority Report, then this next announcement regarding Peter Thiel's, little side project is interesting. And we're going to show this and then talk about how this is relating to the social credit system that we're seeing implemented in China that's putting thousands of young Chinese people on the street. But pretty interesting.
New development in AI.
Introducing Objection, the first AI tribunal. Former CIA and FBI agents will investigate. They gather evidence and make it public, permanently. The AI tribunal checks the record and renders the verdict. From the team that bankrupted Gawker, mastermind Aaron D'Souza, and investor Peter Thiel, comes Objection. Truth isn't what goes viral, it's verified. File an objection.
Yeah, I don't know. That gives me the heebie-jeebies just watching that thing. Like, it's that whole video sus as hell. They're calling it the Tribunal of Truth. Objection, a new technology platform founded by entrepreneur Aaron D'Souza and backed by investors including Peter Thiel and Balaji Srinivasan, has launched with an explicit mandate to subject the media's claims to systemic investigation and judgment by artificial intelligence. The system combines investigators such as former FBI, NSA, and CIA professionals, adversarial evidence review, and finally AI adjudication. Wow, so basically AI fact-checking funded by the Antichrist to protect his brethren.
Come on and make
This
my day, Jew.
Make my day, Jew.
Come
It's
on
really
and
interesting.
Make my day, Jew.
These people that are obsessed with AI, they have this like ulterior motive of determining what truth is. And I think that's where it gets a little bit freaky, because if their definition of truth is corrupted and evil, then they're going to be doing harm to mankind. And it relates to what we're seeing as of late with AI being implemented with these social credit systems over in China. So check out this report here. It is, let me see, this one, I think. I don't know. Hold on. I got a whole lot of videos here. Okay. So tens of thousands of young Chinese people are becoming homeless because they're blacklisted by social credit systems. Once you're blacklisted, the digital wallet WeChat immediately bans you from spending your own digital money. So this, of course, is just a video of like all the homeless people laying on the street that have been blacklisted by BlackRock.
I love the music for that very sad topic.
I know, right? All right, so just want to start this off with the little AI topic there, because we had this funny intro music video of how World War III is, right? But of course, we have the news story of the attack on the White House Correspondents Dinner. This is an angle of some of the drama from the perspective of Stephen Miller, Pete Hegseth, and RFK and their wives.
Did you notice that Trump didn't even know? Like, he was talking, and then the Secret Service guy got right in front of him, and he was gone.
Oh, President Trump? Or
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Yeah, President Trump. Like, he's on stage and he's talking to somebody, and then the Secret Service guy jumps up, and he's still mid conversation, and then they pull him off stage. It's crazy.
Yeah, there
And his
was a lot of
crotch is, like, right there.
controversy. Oh yeah. They said that there was controversy over the fact that they took JD Vance off stage first, and Trump came out today saying, "Yeah, I gave the Secret Service a really hard time because I wanted to see what was going on."
Katie, do you have all your stuff? Yep, I'm fine.
So very interesting. All the people terrified, and of course we get this interesting, clip from the the widow of Charlie Kirk. You could say this is a perfectly timed sound bite of her saying she really wants to go home. So,
Did you hear the there was a lady that was being filmed, and she said they're gonna be shots fired, and it was like a because it's a roast, it's like a comedy roast, and they're gonna have comedians there, but the lady having to say shots fired at a event where shots were fired, real shots.
Oh, wow, very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
I
several
don't think there's
elements
anything to it. It's just ironic. It's just ironic. It's a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, from the announcement right after the situation, it's fascinating to me that wait, somebody said there's footage of a guest munching his chicken while everyone was ducking. That's actually hilarious. I gotta look that up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, I'm not seeing it right now. You'll have to send us the link, because that does sound hilarious. But so what I wanted to say is they announced that this wouldn't have happened if Trump had been allowed to push through his ballroom. And so that in itself is interesting. But they're talking about a 31-year-old guy is the one who stormed in the lobby. There's footage of him just zipping past security, shooting one guy in the security in his Kevlar vest or whatever. And, pretty interesting. You could tell that this guy probably targeted the event because it's a press event. And so maybe if he's looking for some fame and recognition, or he's got some kind of, manifesto.
Wrong way to do it.
Yeah, well, he didn't get
Way to
very
go to
far,
jail.
did he?
Nope. He was a fag.
But I think this is interesting because recently in the press circuit, we've had a lot of attention on the missing scientists. And this is just like a new story that's kind of replacing that. Although we shouldn't forget that a lot of people were starting to get suspicious over guys like David Wilcock, who apparently committed suicide, and as well as numerous other scientists working on UFOs and UAPs. And so, I wanted to show some clips. This is a clip that talks about how he died April 20th. He was ruled a suicide within hours. He spent 25 years exposing government deceptions and alien phenomena. The same government hunted bin Laden for a decade across foreign soil suddenly can't investigate a whistleblower's death. So it's just funny, like how this, White House event is kind of like now superseding the missing scientists in the news circuit.
David Wilcock was crazy for saying most aliens are demons masquerading as extraterrestrials, and that governments use black project drones to fake UFO sightings and hide the real deception. He was one of the loudest voices exposing it. Then on April 20th, 2026, David Wilcock was found dead in Colorado. Officials ruled it suicide within hours. The same government that
OD'd on marijuana.
decade hunting Osama bin Laden tracked him to a fortified compound in Pakistan, executed a precision raid on foreign soil without detection, and confirmed his identity through DNA analysis, suddenly can't properly investigate the suspicious death of a man who spent 25 years exposing their secrets. Same system, same selective blindness, same protection for the powerful. This is not incompetence. This is deliberate. SigilumAlexio.com.
Okay, so we have an interesting comment here before we continue on with the scientists. Hey, what's up, Gail? By the way, she says, former President Reagan, the assassination attempt happened at this same Hilton Hotel, but outside on March 30th, 1981. Very interesting.
Well, that one was real because he was actually shot and almost died.
I
That's
guess our activists are not patient enough. They're like, I can't wait until they step outside to get to their limo. Now I got to just try to get in there. But I think to me, it's pretty concerning watching these things start to happen, these assassination attempts, because it's showing the security flaws and elements that go into protecting these high profile individuals. And so, yes, this guy might have failed, but they kind of show their hand in terms of how they protect these events. And so somebody who might go in with a more organized team, they're able to watch this kind of stuff. And I think that's what, to me, is like, this is foreshadowing, is the concerning element that we're revealing how these high profile individuals are treated during an emergency situation.
Have we looked into Israel? Anybody?
Yeah, somebody says probably over the war and prices and the economy about to collapse, but who knows? Yeah, who knows what the, I guess we'll have to find out further, if anything else is revealed.
Have you seen that fake photo of him allegedly wearing a fake Mossad t-shirt, and then Benny Johnson shared it? And that's why Mark Dice, who I really would love to come to Truth or Crown, he called him out. He called Benny Johnson out, called him clickbait Benny. And it was like,
oh, really?
Okay, let's go. Like, let's not Be crazy. And it was an AI, like it was 100% AI. They put like the same shirt that Epstein was wearing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's really interesting. Yeah, Mark Dice, he's one of the OG guys kind of pointing out common sense stuff. I love his street interviews.
And he's still on YouTube, which is interesting.
All right, anyways. Continuing on here, we have the breakdown of the different scientists. Now, we've all seen the reports of these scientists, these 11 individuals tied to U.S. defense, nuclear, and aerospace programs, but we've not really dove into each individual. It's just kind of a broad blanket statement. So I wanted to just read through the list of scientists and what they were associated with and when they died, right? So scientist one, Amy Eskridge, independent researcher, was into anti-gravity, propulsion, UFO extraterrestrial research, electrostatic propulsion, died June 11th, 2022. Cause of death, apparently a self-inflicted gunshot wound. All right. Next scientist, Michael David Hicks, a research scientist, NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory guy. Research areas was asteroid characterization and deep space observation. Would probably be tied to UAP stuff. He died July 30th, 2023. So cause of death unknown with no NASA statement. Very interesting. Now, he worked at JPL for nearly, it looks like almost 25 years.
What are you, retarded? So I know you're not retarded. But what are you, Down syndrome?
Here, Frank Meilwald, scientist 3. He was a principal scientist, NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory person. He worked with planetary robotic systems and JPL deep space missions. And what's interesting, we're already seeing a consistent pattern with these people that are sewer sliding themselves and their association with the Jet Propulsion Laboratory that was started by Jack Parsons, right? The famed pupil of Aleister Crowley. Could it be that, these people that are working for the company formed by an occultist are being, sewer slided through occult ritualistic, means? Are they the sacrifices to the new age, right? So He says he died July 4th, 2024. We're going to run through these. Anthony Chavez, missing since May 8th. He worked on research was classified, and he had decades working at LANL before retiring. Monica Riza worked on rocket material engineering, patented nickel superalloy used in starships and New Glenn reusable rockets. June 22nd, 2025. Crazy. Melissa Cassius, she was an administrative officer with security clearance, Los Alamos National Laboratory. Classified research, missing since June 26, 2025. Just disappeared, apparently. Not voluntary. Stephen Garcia, nuclear weapons asset oversight, high-level security clearance. Disappeared since August 28th, 2025. Jason Thomas, assistant director, Novartis, active DoD contracts, pharmaceutical research and cancer treatments, December 2025. Nuno Loureiro, director, MIT plasma scientist, right? He was fatally shot December 16th, 2025. Carl Grillmare shot February 16th, 2025. And then we have William Neil McCasland, a retired U.S. Air Force Major General. Hypersonics, directed energy systems, advanced propulsion, missing since February 27th, 2026. All right, so, we've got through all of these scientists, Jeremiah, and what does this remind me of? It reminds me of how during times of war, scientists are very valuable because they can work on, weapon systems. They can innovate and create, things that help technologically with whatever side that they're working for. And so as we see the world enter into this kind of age of conflict, the tensions between Russia and Ukraine, the tensions between the US and Israel and Iran, it makes sense to me that these high-minded, really, intelligent officers that work on these secret systems, they're being taken out, because what it brings to mind is Project Paperclip. After World War II, the U.S. took all of the smartest, brightest minds from Nazi Germany and brought them over to the U.S. to start up, all these.
The U.S. would never do that. Are you kidding? U.S. would never take Nazis. Only the good ones.
That's what they tell you. But all they care about is the research. They care about the minds, the bright minds. And so it's just very interesting that these people are being taken out. And now another element to this that I want to mention before we move on to our next topic is with UAP and UFO disclosure on the horizon, like it seems to have been since 2019, to be honest. But now that President Trump has made mandates and talked about releasing all the information on UAPs, it's suspicious to me that all the experts on these systems that have privately been, secretly working on these crashed alien spaceships or designing them or whatever they're doing, that they're all disappearing and dying, because if there is some type of disclosure, the significance is that the people that could question it or challenge it with empirical evidence and knowledge to support their claims, they're all being taken out, so that nobody can stand up and go, oh, that's not actually true. This is how it actually has gone down. And so it makes me think that this is a precursor to a grand deception or a disclosure that they don't want to be questioned.
All right. Well, we did just go to Aurora, me and Jake, to film like a long thing. And I just want to be clear before that ever comes out that we are not suicidal. And if we are suicided, just know it was the Mossad. Okay? Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I love my life. I love my life. I love my kitties. I love my wife.
You could make a song.
Yeah, I could.
Now, on the heels of this topic of these scientists going missing and such, there's also some interesting things happening. Check out this Moon Henry coverage on, guys like Ian Carroll, Candace Owen, Nick Fuentes basically fleeing the country. I wonder if it's all connected and if they're fearful for their lives as well.
Yeah.
Can you hear this?
No.
Hold on. Let me figure out what's going on here.
Come on and make my day, Jules.
Ian Carroll.
All right, here.
Candace Owens, Nick. So many more people. Why are all these creators or these people going MIA randomly and barely even telling people that, hey, we're canceling the show for the week? Even more so, why are some of them going to the same exact location? That two or more at least are going to Italy. This is really weird. It's really weird because this happens right after David Wilcock allegedly unalives himself, right? As well as a whole bunch of UFOologists and a whole bunch of nuclear scientists. And it keeps happening every single day. Yesterday, we had 2 more pass away. So the question is, did they get the memo of something that maybe is about to happen? Now, this is a bit scary, but there is legislation in the United States where they can basically throw you in a prison without a trial. This was one of the things that came out of September 2001. Also reminds me of John Kirikou, who was this ex-CIA officer who was prisoned because he was... Never mind, let's just take a step back from that story. And we have Ian Carroll putting up things like, I would never do anything to myself. It seems like there's going to be a massive escalation on the ground in the United States dealing with a certain class of people, a certain occupation of people that look for certain things and hidden things.
So why is this significant, Jeremiah, and why does this directly relate to what we saw yesterday with the attack on the White House Correspondents Dinner? It's almost as if there's a telegraphing or a foreshadow that people speaking the truth, people exposing lies, or people that have been, interested in, revealing the corruption of the system that we live in, there's elements that are coming against them. And so that's why, it's interesting that this attack shut down this big gathering of the reporters and the media. And this is on the heels of all these other kind of truthers going into hiding and canceling their shows and fleeing to Italy or wherever they're doing. But to me, it's a telegraphing of something that's like happening ongoing, which is the sequestering of the freedom of speech.
Yep.
Now, let's check out
Go
this.
on. Make my day, Jew. My favorite sound clip.
Now, still ongoing, we have the conflict, with Iran and the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, which is it's we're definitely seeing it play out further and further with an increase of prices. Now let's check this out just briefly. Sorry, we're gonna have some audio issues here. 1 second. Can you hear this?
No.
No, me neither. Okay, we're gonna move on past this one and do something else then. Let's see. Okay, I found this story very interesting. Did you know that in the 70s, the Church of Scientology planted 5,000 spies inside of 136 government agencies, and it's the largest domestic espionage in American history. And they did it just to destroy negative records about themselves.
That's crazy. Don't you just love this Church of Scientology? L. Ron Hubbard was like the weirdest dude ever. I mean, how do they not know? I mean, I feel bad for him. Yeah, I should. It's interesting because, like, the father of chiropractic medicine reminds me a lot of L. Ron Hubbard, where chiropractic medicine is not really a medicine, it's a cult. And it was started by a cult and by a cult leader. And he was actually run over by his son. But look up D.D. Palmer if you guys don't believe me. Do your own research. It's very sick. And he was actually, I believe he was friends with L. Ron Hubbard. So he was like, this is a good way to do it, isn't it, L. Ron? Let's just make a fake religion.
I mean, it does show just how organizations can be used to create power vacuums, and they can insert their members that have ulterior motives into our government, into the way that our society operates. These figures can be placed in high places. And what it reminds me of is, it's like, well, isn't that how like Jeffrey Epstein's network operated? Like, they had these people that secretly were degenerates and evil, and they were just, in all sorts of places of government and corporate power. But just as of recently, there was a really interesting story that should be on our radar. It was the James O'Keefe expose of a high-ranking government official that basically was spilling the beans to a pretty lady. And right after that, we have this report from James O'Keefe that the police came to his office and confiscated all his firearms. This just happened. This is as of the 23rd. And I think this is once again adding a building block to this overarching case against alternative media exposing the truth of different government illicit activities. And now they're, I guess, able to show up and take guns away. And it's likely tied to the state of war that we're in. There's certain powers that are given to the U.S. president and the military when, it's kind of similar to the Patriot Act. And we also have the FIFA announcement that President Trump was saying, I'll give up my rights as an American citizen. But did you happen to see any of the James O'Keefe expose interviews? It's always a beautiful woman or like a guy acting fruity to
Yeah, it's
a
like
gay politician or whatever.
it's so weird. It's like I don't know where he finds these people that I don't know. They're just so retarded. Like are they on a dating? Like I want to know how he does it because they tell them everything, and it's like, dude, you work for the government. Like your job is to shut up. Like they just tell them everything. It's crazy. Pam Bonding did it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's
Random
crazy what people can get away with when they act like somebody they're not. Like if you're, I mean, I saw this post. It was like, if you're a guy working in politics or IT and a drop dead gorgeous, 10 out of 10 looks woman shows up on your doorpost, you're probably, they're trying to get information from you. Basically, it's not legit. Don't trust them. So I thought that was funny. And, it kind of leads into this next video, which is a YouTuber that is recently going viral because they're able to get into enclosed private spaces and businesses by just putting on a safety vest and walking in with a ladder. Now, I think what this concerns me is like just the escalation of terror attacks, likely, and likely false flags. And, it kind of makes me wonder, like, how long till, some kind of shooter type gets wisened up and follows this pattern, right?
Electricity room at?
Electricity room? I was about to say, ask him right there.
Hey, what's up, man? Where's the electricity room at? Down there?
You like the one with all the breakers in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be outside, actually.
So they just, they see he's got a vest on and a ladder.
Do you know how many times rapists get into women's homes like that? I was watching a true crime thing, and the statistic is insane.
Getting cold out here, man.
Where they just act like they're a maintenance guy or something.
Right here?
Like,
appreciate you, man.
And they just let them in.
Exactly.
Crazy.
All right, that was easy.
That's why it's important to watch true crime, guys.
So apparently,
not to
a ladder
know
and clipboard really
how
gets
crazy
you
they are.
anywhere you want. You guys
that
have
is
a good
why.
day. Quandale
Know what
Dingle
evil looks
said
like.
that everything's looking good and everything back there, and that we should be good. So if you guys have any other problems, just let me know, okay?
What is your name?
LV.
LV. Hi,
LV.
I'm Sarah.
Okay, nice to meet you, Sarah.
So
Thank you.
everything is all
Yep.
updated.
Yep, it is.
And
If you have any more issues, just tell the manager.
maybe a year.
I mean, our Wi-Fi guy could have definitely been
Exactly.
this person.
Yeah. Oh man. So, we're seeing that, and in other news, let's see here. There's a really interesting connection to this big event happening in Israel as of late. Let me just find my in Israel. There is the largest gay pride event in history apparently happening. I wanted to cover that just briefly. Before I do, by the way, it's not only American scientists. There's a bunch of Chinese scientists that have been dying mysterious deaths too. Supposedly 15 plus and counting. All these different scientists. So it's almost like both sides of this war of whatever these shadow governments are, or whatever, they're taking out the other side scientists. So if you're smart and you work on, secret tech, watch out,
Sure. Or if you're exposing the truth.
All right.
Sad life.
Oh yeah. Here was a little breakdown of Joe Rogan talking about the scientists. I thought it was fascinating. We've watched together.
Scientists that are going missing. Yeah. What do you think of that?
Don't top doctors go missing. Don't top physicists go missing. Don't fucking astronaut. All these fucking people were in
facts.
Power positions. Not
Did you
even
say fags?
position of high intelligence, knowledge.
Yeah.
They go bye-bye. The best heart surgeons on earth. 7 of them were on the same fucking plane that went down.
Yeah.
The best.
Probably for the best.
Whatever. They just
Surgeons
found
are assholes.
for these 10 doctors. They're on a PJ to fucking who the
God
hell knows
complexes.
where, and they go down.
Jesse wrote a good write-up about them.
They are God in their own mind.
Explains the angle we would prefer to hear about, like conspiracies and UFOs and stuff.
So he thinks it's a conspiracy?
I don't know
he's
that
laying out
saying
the
that yet.
possibility of it being a
Correct,
conspiracy.
and at least from that angle.
It's just crazy that all these top doctors and top things and physicists and just like these people just disappear.
One of them was a general who's also like,
he's the
generals know shit.
He's the key.
Well,
he was in charge of I think the UFO program.
Right.
If there is one.
If there is one.
How come they haven't killed Bob Lazar? That's my thing.
Just a gun.
If he's
if
Bob Lazar is not a plant,
screen what he left with.
why is he allowed to live? He's like the biggest one.
He took a red backpack,
that's a good question.
his wallet, and a 38 caliber revolver.
Left behind his phone.
He left behind his phone.
and
His wife reported him missing within 3 hours. Despite FBI involvement, Air Force Office of Special Investigations, search dogs, drones, helicopters, horseback teams, FLIR sweeps, and 700 canvas households. No confirmed sightings of McCaslin has ever surfaced. Surveillance cameras covered both ends of his street. None captured his direction of travel. After weeks of searching, the only item recovered was a gray Air Force sweatshirt a mile east of his house. Testing could not confirm it was his.
So he was the first one to disappear, and then the story sort of.
So
Interesting. Okay, so yeah, just fascinating to hear their conversation on it. So it's not just Bob's not here, man.
I like that. He's probably a clone or something. Yeah, already replaced. I agree with that.
Yeah,
and I've lost a lot of respect for Joe Rogan too. It's like I don't know. I've lost a lot of respect for Trump too. And I always stuck up for Trump, but lately it just makes me so angry.
Are you talking about that segment we shared where Theo Vaughn was talking with him and kind of referencing Israel, and Joe was kind of like,
Joe's overdoing
speaking,
it.
He's interrupting him.
He's calling him stupid and saying you need to take. He basically tells Theo Vaughn that he needs to take, or needs to, start taking. What is it, like antidepressants or something? And it was like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, because he's asking questions? Like, what? What?
Yeah. Theo Vaughn's, he's been covering quite a lot of pretty pressing, important questions.
Love Theo.
Yeah. I think after that segment we showed last time we covered Joe, we showed that clip from years ago where he's like, I'll lie to my own mother as long as you show me the UFOs, And then in like an interview, he's like, they got to me. And I don't know actually what causes him to kind of hush certain topics, but it reminds me of the guy that came onto his channel and wanted to talk about mushrooms. And as soon as he brings up portobello mushrooms, the scientist is like, I refuse to speak any more on this topic. Don't say a word about it. People have lost their lives over this, basically. So, I mean, there's definitely scary people.
There's one Joe Rogan episode where he had on somebody about prisons, and he had a guy on that ended up killing somebody later, like not too long after him being on the Joe Rogan Experience. It's the one that they want to go away. They don't want anybody to see it anymore, but it's still out there. It's pretty crazy.
Wow. Well, to carry on with some of the interesting things that are happening recently, weather warfare has almost undoubtedly been proven with the recent strike on a UAE facility. It was like a secret facility that was controlling the weather. Iran blows it up with some drones, and lo and behold, as soon as this weather controlling station gets blown up, Iran's drought of 7 years ends, and they drop 5 degrees overnight, massive floods, rain. So check this video out. It's just crazy what's happened since the U.S. owned radars in the Hejaz Desert is flooding now. Just crazy. Check this out. So this is Iran, the deserty nation we were talking about needs water really badly.
Sam Tripoli just sent me a message.
هذه بعد المسعود تضرب السيل طول عرض على صوت الرحول ما شاء الله تبارك الله.
Oh yeah. We
hear-
had a good time. Yeah. What did he say?
Okay, I'm gonna do it uncensored. Okay, so we're friends with Sam Tripoli now. I love him. He asked for my phone number, but he said, and you'll know who I'm talking about. Okay, this is his words, not mine. Somebody will probably clickbait it, whatever. He said that fucking retard is commenting on my post now, and it's hilarious. He's now saying I'm some guy who owns yachts. I have no clue how someone could be this dumb. You know who he's talking about, right?
Oh yeah.
Coolest, crazy.
We went.
I was the
Yeah,
first.
tell the story. Talk about his comedy set. He called you out like 3 or 4 times. Tell people about it.
He took his glasses off and he said, "I want to see you beautiful people," and looked right in my eyes. And he said, "Dude, that guy's awesome." And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "He and I are at war with the fittest flat earther." And nobody cheered but me. And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, he keeps calling me Franz Ferdinand or whatever he calls him. It's like, and then he said something about like, I used to be skinny and look like I did meth like that guy, like this guy. And I was like, what? But yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's just funny that this guy's a psyop, the fittest flat earther. I call him the, I won't say it on the air, actually. I won't give him any more attention.
Yeah, the Moon Henry guy who I just shared a segment from, he was coming after Moon Henry, calling him a Freemason. And I commented under his post, I was like, hey, he came after Rob Skiba, and Jeremiah Skiba has been calling him out. And I think what the thing is with the fakest FE guy is he's basically using this as a marketing ploy. He's fake calling everybody out, telling everybody they're Freemasons because he's getting on their platforms and they're giving him the light of day because they're arguing with his dumb claims. And so it's working out for him. He's getting a lot of publicity from it.
Yeah. But he is Timothy McVeigh, and that's what he did say on stage. And everybody's like, what? Oh man.
Yeah, and that was your funny video that
one went viral.
It did go pretty viral.
I think that's why he ended up like being like, dude, what's your number? And it was just a cool experience. It was fun. But it was a video. This is what's crazy. So don't ever doubt yourself, guys, ever. If you feel like you want to post something, even if everybody's telling you not to, do it. Because you never know. You never know what could happen. Quite frankly, you never know. You could be the best video maker of all time, quite frankly. But yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Conspiracy theorists turn against each other so easily, and it's just it's comes with the territory, I guess. But we need to come together, especially since Mossad seems to be taking so many of us out, right? Check this out. This is more footage from the weather chain. It was literally raining and snowing after they blew up that weather control depot. And why is this important to recognize that this is literally proving weather warfare? Is because we saw, just like last year, Hurricane Melissa, right? Strongest hurricane ever, just pops up out of the blue. Craziest, strongest hurricane that anybody's ever seen. And directly before it, there was like radar footage of like energy being shot into the heavens. And so, we know that this is a technology that is being utilized. I mean, there's no bullets, there's no paper trails, there's just calamity and destruction, and it's being used to manipulate the world. And so just really crazy. But check this out. You'll be called crazy for saying it, but the weather war is real. And, Iran went from dealing with this decade-long drought to receiving snow in April after they blew up the U.S. facility, or the secret facility. I mean, look at the snow. Like, all the footage we've had of the war so far, it's desert. and now it's like a snowy tundra. Like,
I know. It's like Christmas.
It's insanity.
Insanity.
Really,
Santa D.
It's Santa itty. Oh man.
Just don't eat it.
Oh yeah, back on the kind of the modern warfare and drone technology topic. Check out this Amazon blimp that's like dumping drones out. It's pretty crazy to see. It's like a drone blimp.
Remember when I was gonna get something delivered here and it said, "Would you like it to be a drone delivery?" And I was like, no. But I should have. And we could have shot it down. And been like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. That's creepy, dude. I don't like that. That's an airship. You know, that's why we need OPA. We need to know if that's an airship or a blimp, and I have no idea.
Man, yeah, I've been watching the war footage from Ukraine of both Russians and Ukrainians just getting obliterated by these drones, and there's almost nothing they can do. Like the drones, I mean, there's the kind of drones that fly overhead and they can kind of dodge them and they'll drop grenades. But then there's these FPV suicide drones that'll like fly at you. And I saw this guy, he was like this brave Russian warrior, you know, and he dodges one drone and he just is running. And then a second drone comes out of nowhere. And then he like jukes that one, jumps behind something and survives that drone. But then there was like 3 more drones. And by the third drone, they took him out. And it was so sad. It was like, man, the future sound of just war, the war rattle will be the buzz of drones that, you know, people were running from. Because, you know, back in World War I, it was like shell shock, right? But now it's drone shock. It's pretty serious, you know. Here's a clip of David Wilcock, one of the scientists that recently sewer slided, and allegedly this is possibly, you know, some of the information he was sharing right before he died that could have been why he had to be taken out. But also he could have been just depressed, and it could have been just an unfortunate life choice.
It's a coincidence,
right?
It's a coincidence. It's all a coincidence.
One of the things that I learned from whistleblowers from the cabal itself is that they have to work within something they call the rules. And this is very, very important. The rules are a body of spiritual principles that they must follow in order to be allowed to exist. Now, what do I mean by allowed to exist? I mean that they are aware that there are benevolent forces that will prevent them from achieving their goals unless we give them permission. The universe is intelligent, alive, and conscious, and it is benevolent. It is a benevolent consciousness. That consciousness does not allow the negative to succeed unless it is invited. So the cabal has made a science, a very elaborate science, out of studying these arcane, occult, magical principles that allow them to get away with what they do. So they have to put out everything that tells you who they are in music videos, in these Super Bowl halftime shows, the Grammy Awards ceremonies. They're out there showing you the truth. This is what people are going to have so much trouble with once disclosure happens, is that these people actually practice black magic, and they are very, very good at it.
Well, there you go. I mean, if I'm the person practicing black magic on others, I'm going to want to shut the person up spoiling the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just to end my news segment here, you know, I have whole tons of stories, but we don't want to go too long. And so let me show this last clip, which is actually less of a news story and more about how music has a secret. And just like how he's talking about the black magic of the system that we live in, exposing it, this is a little clip talking about how music has the power to heal, and it's pretty interesting. So check this out. Hold on.
Look at this. Each time you pluck that guitar string, it creates a tone. Each tone has a geometry when it moves through space. That geometry looks beautiful and symmetric when it's harmonic. To get the harmonic, you have to get the wave just right. When that happens, you don't only see it, you feel it. Harmonic tones reflect the harmony in nature. You can feel that it's right because that harmony is in your ear. When you have multiple harmonic tones, you form a chord. It's two or more of those that fit perfectly inside of each other. You can literally see the ratios in the cymatic. Chords encapsulate a feeling. That's literally the geometry of emotion through time. The even crazier part is we can turn the geometry into math. But look really closely, it's just the ratio of circles. So you have math to geometry to what we see in reality.
Math.
Just through circles. You don't even need to know the math. You just have to feel the circles. This has been humanity's secret weapon in unlocking the brain. Most geniuses throughout history have also been musicians. Music moves the water inside of you into the geometries that you resonate with. Artists take those geometries and then translate those into motion. Then you get everybody in motion. Emotion. All of our cultures have been built around music. It's how we first got people to come together. It was so important we made sacred spaces specifically for that reason. Now it's evolved. We create temporary temples with enough power to shake the planet. And for just a moment, the borders don't exist, the differences don't matter. We all just share the experience. Doesn't matter where you live or what car you drive at a concert. Harmony heals and music is the medicine. All your things won't matter when it's your time. Make the most out of your time. It's literally.
Okay, so just like he said, how the system uses our entertainment, our music to manipulate us. And he makes this parallel with water and frequency. And how harmonic music, it creates these beautiful shapes. But of course, dissonant music, which is the opposite, it's like colliding frequencies, can cause adverse effects. And so it's pretty interesting. And last story for our Bible theologians and students among us, this has long time been a ongoing topic in kind of the truther circles, but it's recently gained some traction in more modern kind of news settings, and it's the location of Noah's Ark, and it just happens to be a few miles from the Iran border. So the timing is kind of interesting, and check this out.
Working in the high mountains of Turkey have uncovered what appear to be hidden tunnels similar to the descriptions of the biblical account of Noah's Ark.
Our next guest says his newly found evidence can prove that Noah's Ark did in fact exist, turning this biblical mystery into a reality. Joining us now from Turkey is one of those researchers from Noah's Ark Scans, Andrew Jones. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us and for all the good work that you're doing. This is fascinating. Tell us about your findings that could prove the real life existence of Noah's Ark.
Thank you for having me on. Yes, greetings from the mountains of Ararat, where the Bible says the ark landed. I'm about 1 mile from the Iranian border. And in this remote area, this boat formation was discovered in 1959. But our new research has shown that there are tunnels about 4 meters down and about 2 meters high going down the center of the boat and on the inside edge of the hull shape. And so we really believe that this layout showing tunnels and also possible support beams and walls would suggest that it's a man-made object and not just a natural formation.
Yeah, many geologists disagree with that. They say, look, this is just a natural formation. But gosh, Andrew, when I look at that, it doesn't look very natural to me. What's your response to those geologists?
Yeah, so first of all, you have to explain how did an earthen formation get into the shape of a ship, and then is exactly 300 cubits long, which is the length given in the book of Genesis in the Bible. And so we have the exact length, we have the ship shape, and we're in the right location. And now we're also seeing that the soil inside is different from right outside the formation. So we have 3 times more organic matter found inside versus right outside. So it's a distinct object and not just part of the mountainside.
Can you take your work underground and explore some of these tunnels to get a definitive answer?
That is the next goal. And we're really hoping that the Turkish universities will be able to do that. And so that's the plan. And that's what we've suggested. And we're even wanting to help with designing a robot that can go down into these tunnels and film and take samples.
I understand that your organization is called Noah's Ark Scans, which probably answers my next question for me. But in your heart of hearts, based upon all the time and all the effort that you have put into this, do you truly believe that you have found Noah's Ark?
Yes, I do believe that this is the real decayed, buried remains of Noah's Ark, the famous ship. And we're doing our best to convince the skeptics and show the world this site.
All right, there you go. So in the midst of all of the terrible doom and gloom, the distracting news, the world wars, the AI takeover, we're having a increase in revelatory archaeology that's proving that the scriptures are true. So, hey, Jeremiah, maybe someday we can go visit the real Noah's Ark. That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd be down.
Right there next to Iran. We'll have to, wear a burqa or something to sneak over there. But hey,
let's do it, dude. If somebody wants to fund us, we're down.
Yeah, I've wanted to go on some little exploratory journeys over to the Middle East. I particularly am interested in going and checking out Jabal al-Luz, which is the alleged real Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia. And I'm really fascinated. Go check out Elijah's cave that's up at the top of the mount there. There's a burned mountain with a 2-tier peak, and that's like the real Mount Sinai. And just a few miles away is a giant split rock with water, erosion all around it, showing that this is where Moses split the rock. So a whole bunch of cool things like that. I'm also very fascinated in going to the British Isles for a variety of reasons. Some very interesting research that I've been stumbling upon, kind of drawing me to go and investigate a few different things over in the British Isles. So, maybe one day somebody will be like, we'll send you guys on an adventure. You never know. So I'm just putting the theory and thoughts out there, right?
Yeah. So is it cool if I play a couple videos? I haven't downloaded them, so they're just gonna like open. So I think this first one is I'm having like a miniature documentary come out tomorrow to show you who
was a truther. Even when I was doing my music growing up, my mom always said 9/11 was an inside job, and I used to listen to Alex Jones, and I was always awake, but I never wanted to go down the rabbit hole. I'd rather live in La La Land where everything's normal and everything. But some of the stuff I saw in the music industry, even being signed to an independent label, was very dark. I don't know if I'm ready to get into it, but I will say that I didn't do things that they wanted me to do, and I ended up getting my label head to break contract, kind of reverse mind control, if you want to say, to break their own contract. So I would own all the rights to my music and be able to republish it, which was pretty awesome.
So yeah, that's coming out tomorrow on my birthday. And also, I wanted to show you guys this new TrutherCon ad I made. And you guys let me know if it's cool or if it's gay, okay? Okay, here it is.
Book your trip. Buy your tickets today, November 7th and November 8th at truthercon.com.
Nice.
So, okay, so it's time for an all-new volume, but please excuse my sense of humor. You have been warned, so here we go.
Some people might find some of these jokes offensive. If you are one of those people, I'm sorry that you cannot take a joke. Viewer discretion is advised.
This sucks.
Watch this one.
Kobe.
What if instead of Scooby-Doo, his name was Scooby-Jew, and instead of saying woof woof, he would raise your rent, and instead of following Shaggy, he would cause 9/11.
ਨੀਵੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕੁਝ ਚੀਰ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖ ਲੈ ਪੱਲੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁਖੜਾ ਲੁਕਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖ ਲੈ
No one to just pick on one group of people.
ਨੀਵੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕੁਝ ਚੀਰ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖ ਲੈ ਪੱਲੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁਖੜਾ ਲੁਕਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖ ਲੈ ਐਵੇਂ ਕਰੀ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿਆਰ
So you would think this was one of the Beatles, and I thought that at the beginning, but then I soon found out it was a man with a little mustache. It is cracking me up. I don't know why. I just couldn't stop laughing. Somebody's grandma's real bad, I bet.
White people being replaced in the UK.
So what? So what? Wait.
Firstly, I'd like to say Happy Hanukkah, second night of Hanukkah, in the ancient city of Constantinople, with the nice Jewish doctor.
Galileo Galilei. I'm Sacagawea.
I'm Charlie Kirk.
I'm Neil Armstrong.
Kann man sagen, dass Hitler der Mann ihres Lebens war?
Ja, 100%. 100%.
Like him.
All the great American songs, and you're going to play some German song?
That was a painting done by a famous artist, a German chappie.
Adolf Hitler? He painted that?
Yeah, he's a good painter, wasn't he? He's very good at oratory. He's very good at history. Very good with children. He loved music. He's good with dogs.
You sound like a fan.
No, he was slightly difficult for other reasons.
Buzz, we missed the truck. We're not aiming for the truck.
Yeah, 1:30.
1:30 is fine.
You must get a lot of hate with that name, huh?
Excuse me?
The name, your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Jill.
You, yeah, you must get a lot of hate with that, you know?
You gotta grab it, it's right there.
Sir, don't get in there!
Oh my God, he's going
Harambe
down.
Part 2.
Oh!
Rest in peace.
Get off! Help!
Somebody call security.
Hey, leave him!
500K or dinner with Jesus?
500K.
Why's that?
You got any idea what type of tattoo you're interested in?
Yes. Make him look a very, very Jew. Yes, a break like to where you put the horns.
The horns? You will make a devil?
Yes, it should look realistic.
Excuse me, are you Jewish?
Tax dollars are not payment, I'm sorry.
My nigga, you're my nigga.
White is right, brown's all right, black's gotta stand back. Yellow's mellow, but white's,
What if, instead of Pikachu, his name was Pikachu? And instead of saying Pika Pika, he would say Keepa Keepa. And instead of chilling with Ash, he turned into Ash.
Like, I know you love football. This one made me laugh. I kind of had a bunch.
Guten Tag, hallo und herzlich willkommen zu diesem Einführungskurs in die österreichische Malerei. Einige von Ihnen erkennen mich vielleicht als Leadsänger der Heils oder als Führer des Dritten Reichs, aber heute werde ich hier Malllehrer sein. Was ich in der Malerei so wunderbar finde, ist, dass sie ein sehr wirksames Mittel sein kann, um nach einem langen, anstrengenden Tag der Weltherrschaft abzuschalten. Wir nehmen einfach etwas arisches Blutrot und mischen es mit einem Hauch germanischen Blond. Jetzt lass den Hass durch deinen Pinsel auf die Leinwand fließen. Das ist alles. An der Universität Wien lernt man das zwar nicht, aber um die Farben so richtig zum Leuchten zu bringen, empfehle ich, ein paar Tropfen Bolschewikentränen auf die Palette zu geben. Der zusätzliche Salzgehalt der Bolschewikentränen sorgt dafür, dass sich die verschiedenen Farben besonders gut vermischen. Ich mische einfach etwas Gartanblau mit einem Hauch Braun von Braunhemden. Was ich am Malen auch so liebe, ist, dass einem nur die eigene Fantasie Grenzen setzt. Wir könnten einen Bären, ein Flugzeug oder einen Zug hinzufügen. Und wohin fährt der Zug? Wer weiß, es gibt viele mögliche Ziele. Das wissen nicht viele, aber die Idee für meinen Schnurrbart kam mir tatsächlich, nachdem ich zum ersten Mal das Ende eines Pinsels gesehen hatte. Ich warf einen Blick darauf und dachte mir, das würde verdammt gut an meinem Gesicht aussehen. Doch wenn dein Gemälde nicht perfekt ist, ist das kein Problem. Es gibt viele andere Aufgaben in den Camps, die du stattdessen übernehmen kannst. Wie Sie sehen, haben wir es hier mit einem Fall von Ungehorsam zu tun, denn der Pinsel hat sich meinen Anweisungen widersetzt und einen Fleck auf meinem schönen Gemälde hinterlassen. Ob der Pinsel von einem Juden hergestellt wurde oder nicht, können wir derzeit nicht überprüfen. Die gute Nachricht ist, dass mir dies die Gelegenheit gibt, einen der am meisten übersehenen Aspekte des künstlerischen Schaffensprozesses zu demonstrieren, der Crash-Out. Gute Neuigkeiten. Ich konnte einige der Lagerarbeiter dazu bringen, das Gemälde in perfektem Zustand und ohne den Fleck zu rekonstruieren. Ein immer nützlicher Trick, falls ihr mal Probleme mit euren eigenen Gemälden habt. Zu Ehren meines kürzlichen Urlaubs in Argentinien möchte ich diese Folge mit einem Adios und Auf Wiedersehen beenden.
The Rage of Painting. Man, that wasn't the one that my wife sent me a bunch of good, funny ones that weren't Nazi-like, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll have to save those for next week. Something wrong with my headphones right now. So, what was your favorite, Jake?
I thought the Trump one was pretty funny.
Which one?
The one at the beginning. Yeah, no,
that one?
yeah, the line he it was like it really made me think of him, like he's like, I can do the lion intro. Let me do it.
I'm the best at the lion intros. Quite frankly, I'm a better lion than most lions. That's probably what he thought.
Man.
And you guys let me know your favorite down in the comment section. Sorry I uploaded the wrong one. But I have them for next week, so I have them in the bank.
Hey everybody,
Anyways,
tomorrow's Jeremiah's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't like when people sing me happy birthday, and that's the truth. I think it's the tism, because I just get up and I walk away. Every time the waitresses and waiters all come sing me happy birthday, I just walk out. I get up and I walk out every time. Is that weird?
Hey, each to their own, I guess. I would be sad.
Yeah.
I'd miss out on free dessert at restaurants.
Well,
It's
I
kinda
would have
like
given
an
it to you.
exchange.
Yeah, I guess. But then everybody looks at you like you're, like you ordered fajitas, like that one Nick Swartzen joke where it's like, and everybody's looking at you. I just don't like it, Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here. And if you want to check out that documentary of who I am, not who my dad was, but who I am, you can check it out tomorrow, and it will be premiering then. So thank you guys for stopping by. And
check out truthercon.com.
Yep, Truthercon. It's gonna be epic. And we passed
Lots
it
of
on the way home
secrets
from
on
the
the
comedy
website,
show.
too.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we passed
did
by
get
it.
to see the venue.
Yeah, we passed by it on the way home, and it was right there. And he was like, Jake, you said something funny, because Lindsay was like, there it is. There's where Truthercon is. And you thought it was like an ad or something, like on a billboard. And you were like, where? I don't see it. It was a building. It's like a big hotel. That's cool. Anyways, guys, any last words, Jake?
That's all. Auf Wiedersehen.
Adios. Okay, in honor of Bopa, happy trails to you until we meet again. I can't wait till he gets back so he can start
We'll be back
singing again.
soon.
But adios.